wanting to go back and take you back in years. Today the Army, its ethos, its culture, its values are very core to your being. What made you decide on a career in uniform?
I come from a civil background with nobody else in the armed forces, maybe very distant relations. My father was a businessman and he was determined to send all of us to boarding. My elder sister went in class 1. I was sent initially, I came back and he insisted and I joined Sainik School. And all my friends were, it was a military-like atmosphere, but all my friends were joining the army and I really had no second thoughts, just joined the army. I joined NDA in fact in 1969. And looking back now, 45 years later, no regrets at all. In fact, if you take the army out of my life, I would feel hollow.
In fact, you have schooled at some of the best training institutes across the world and of course in India. In terms of how we train our men and officers particularly, how do we compare?
Let me say the Indian Army is a unique institution, and really to compare us with any other armed forces would be unfair, because the kind of challenges that the Indian Army faces, I don't think any other armed forces in the world face that. And let me explain. We have multiple challenges, different kinds of borders, different kinds of terrain. You take, starting from Siachen, the Tibetan Plateau, the Ladakh Plains, the line of control, and then you come down to the plains of Punjab, the riverine terrain, and then you move down to the desert, and then further to the northeast, the jungle-infested terrain there. You also are deployed in the rest of the country, including the island territories. Apart from that, India is not part of any grouping or strategic alliance, and therefore we need independent deterrence capability. And that capability has to be across the spectrum of conflict, starting from the sub-conventional to the highest level of a conventional conflict with a nuclear background. Now this makes it really challenging, not only for training, but for manning. Now you cannot specialize your battalions, and you would understand with an armed forces background. You cannot have a battalion posted in Siachen for more than 3 to 6 months. Thereafter they have to be rotated. Similarly, a battalion or a regiment of artillery or someone, engineers who comes down from the high altitude may well get posted to the desert. Now look at that man who was posted in the high altitudes, the icy peaks of Ladakh, and then he comes down to the desert, to a totally different terrain.